Doing some numbers crunching this morning, I came across a figure. As of the end of the day, Thursday, I live in Idaho, small state population wise, under 2 million people. We've had 77,000 confirmed cases of coronavirus, confirmed being, I guess, the key word here. We've had 773 deaths, or as the media calls it, fatalities. Because often you hear people sitting around in casual conversation using words like fatalities, juveniles, incident. Meanwhile, 773 deaths is what percent of 77,000? See that? See that? Yeah, that's what the Los Angeles Dodgers are doing right now. One. You see, 1%, which is either roughly equivalent to the yearly influenza outbreak, or lower, perhaps. But I cite that figure because all of this hysteria just continues. And do you wear a mask or not wear a mask? Should you go to Thanksgiving or not Thanksgiving? Are they going to tell you to wear a mask and avoid Thanksgiving? Don't think a lot of people are going to be following these regulations when it comes to holiday get-togethers. How many police officers do you have? This defund the police crowd among the left, they don't have the bodies to go out and roust people in their own homes for having 11 people when the limit is 10. You get my drift? And yet media continues to push this. The latest from the Washington Post is going to church or restaurants is the biggest way to transmit this. But the Post also says people are transmitting it at small gatherings in their private homes. I'm sorry, but I don't see how government can step in and control that. It's almost as if this is the end game that the conspiracy theorists on my side have long feared. It certainly has the look of it, doesn't it? And even in Republican states, you're seeing this overwrought reaction as the governors are listening to the science. Well, I got news for you. The hospitals in my state have been pushing the science for a long time, and they are on the side of taking away your civil liberties. I just was talking, though, with some people yesterday, and we were having a conversation, and I had forgotten this. I guess it was one of those things in the mix of all this that was lost. But when we first got hit with this last March, the hospitals in the region decided that they were going to furlough people, that is, lay them off, let them go, because they weren't going to be doing elective surgeries, and a lot of other types of procedures were postponed. So the hospitals, in order to save money, said, well, let a certain number of people go. They haven't been called back. So when you hear that these hospitals are diverting patients, they're doing it while they have empty beds in their own facilities. Why? Because their greed. The greed behind all of this means that they have been able to pocket a lot of money during this crisis. They deny that they're getting extra money for various patients, but there was an explanation given by one of our local hospital guys at a council meeting a couple of weeks ago. It was like, well, in some cases, and in some cases not. And of course, mainstream media ignores all of that because, again, they're trying to sell a narrative, and that is, therefore, taking away your civil liberties. Let's start with the first. Let's say freedom of the press. What do you think? Whoa, we can't do that. Well, why not? You want to take mine away? We should take yours away. It's a fair exchange, right? One last thing. In California, a judge has ruled that it is a violation of the First Amendment rights of strip club owners to be forced to close down during the pandemic. And since they can't take the business outside, well, I guess they could, but it would really be rough on traffic. Just to say, passersby would have a difficult time focusing on the road. Let's just be honest about that. But so churches are still being told no, but a judge has said, and this isn't finalized, but the judge says for now, temporarily, the strip clubs can reopen doors. So a lot of guys are going to get COVID and apparently die, according to the media narrative, but they'll die with a smile on their face. Well, again, perhaps if they weren't out committing sin, they wouldn't have to worry about some of these things. If you like our videos, click on the subscribe button above and leave any comments in the comments section below. I host a radio show at News Radio 1310 KLIX in Twin Falls, Idaho. Cover about 8 counties with over-the-air signal, but if you can't hear us over the air, our website is newsradio1310.com. Listen live button. You can click on that or download our app for your smartphone. That's the News Radio 1310 KLIX app.